Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. So kind of random and kind of a bummer, but I just noticed that upon looking at the daily listens for the show, for the first time since, I don't know, we got a full day with 0 listens. And I know that to only be the case because I've uploaded a show in 10 days now, because today would be episode 809. And I've only uploaded up to 799, and so I need to do 10 in a row. I don't want to upload any because it's just a pain in my ass. So, whatever, we will get them uploaded. But yeah, I don't know when the last time I had a full day of no uploads or of no listens was. I don't record the show or upload the show for any reason for that. But I guess it just kind of is a bummer to know that we got 0. I don't know. But anyway, so today was another day similar to yesterday in the sense that I didn't work really much at all. And the reason was because Lexi took her car in, and long story short, there was much more. So we thought she was going in for just a little repair. Turns out there was a huge recall, and they almost didn't let her take her car back because of the recall. But fast forward, we kind of drove all around. She was going to get a new car, and we drove to a different city, and then we just changed our mind, and then we drove back, and then so long story short, what we were expecting to be a 30-minute fix-it turned into a 6-hour extravaganza. And because of that, we were together the whole day, and yeah, so it didn't work much, and that's nobody's fault. It was my choice to go with Lexi because I wanted to. I think, I don't know, I always tell her we're a team. You know, I got your back, you got mine. I love you. And I'm glad that we had this experience together. It was one of those things where it was just a high emotion situation with a purchase that maybe wasn't the best to make right this very second. So we just conversed back and forth and decided to hold off. And I think it was great because I think that there's just a lot of things that that we weren't sure about. You need to make a decision knowing as much information as you can, right? To make the most educated decision that you can. And I just don't think that we had all the information needed to make a decision and to feel good about it. And so anyway. So all that to say, didn't work a ton. So there's not much for me to really talk about here. Other than I worked a little bit this morning, and then I worked a little bit this evening. So maybe a grand total of 2-3 hours, something like that. And yeah, just continuously making little updates, improving upon things, making things flow better. And yeah, so I don't know when I'll put it up for testing. I feel like I'm just a broken record saying the same exact stuff over and over now, but yeah, I don't know when I'll put it up for testing or anything like that. I don't know when that will come, but I've got 6 emails, so that's pretty cool. 2 of them, or I think one of them is Android, which sucks because they'll have to wait for now. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff I'm working on. It's all, right now I would say it's all the, ironing out the small details. And there's certain small things, for example, you click create a task And then when you start making a task and you decide maybe you actually don't want to create that, you can save it for later. If you click save for later, it doesn't save anything for later. It actually just creates the task, which is that's not what we want. We don't want it to create a task. We want it to save for later because that's the button that we clicked. And it's small things like that I gotta go through and dude, this stuff is complex because you got to think through everything. Because, for example, I just gave it a prompt to just make the save for later button work. But what I didn't account for was when somebody clicks that button, it needs to save the task that they created, but not make it active. So it needs to save it, but put it into another tab, and then make that tab accessible when they're creating a task. And when they tap on that, it needs to not commit them to it or create it. It needs to just let them preview what they previously created to then make the decision to commit to it. But if they click cancel, then nothing should happen. But if they click commit, then it should take that task that was saved for later and then implement it and not go back to the created task menu or screen and make a new one. It should use the save for later one. And then it should commit that based on all the previous selected options for that task. But if I don't do any of that and I click cancel, then it should save those settings so that it's still saved for later. And that's just one tiny little itty bitty microscopic feature of just, you know, when you make a post on Instagram, you can write the post and then you can save a draft. Same exact concept, it's actually not even the same, it's the same exact thing. So small things like this are actually taking up most of my time because I need to get them right. They need to work. They need to be logical. They just need to work the way they need to work. I don't know what else to say. So what is this? Task creator, new matter. Create 10 tasks. See, it says create 10 tasks. I didn't create 10 tasks. I don't know what that is. So if I go home, so we got a new medal, task creator. Yeah, I don't know. The medals thing is probably what I'll need testing with, but there's a lot of things in the future that there's no way to test without making a fake scenario or environment. For example, once a user successfully does 1,000 days in a row of something, they're going to get a specific medal. Now, that is 2.5 years away. You know, I mean, that's damn near 3 years. Very close to 3 years. It's a total of 33 months, I believe, or 34 months. 33 months, I think. 33 months. So that's 33 months away, you know. How am I going to test that? How am I going to wait for somebody to do something for 33 months? You know, so obviously I have to create a fake situation or scenario or environment or whatever to test those out. But all the small ones, like creating however many tasks or completing however many tasks or whatever, those can be medals and whatever. So that part I do believe will be very fun because as long as I can make it very easy to create those, I think it'll be fun to actually go through and find these designs and then use them as medals and start making what I would call the illustrative or the visual side of all this, which is what I'm excited for, and all the sound effects and stuff. So anyway, yeah, I'm just doing that. I'm not sure if there's anything else. Actually, let me touch on this. So I talked about it last night, but Mina was asking how many hours I got, and obviously he needs to pay me, and still hasn't paid me. And it's not that he hasn't paid me that's a bothersome. It's that the expectation is that I let him know on Saturday how many hours I worked so that he can pay me on Saturday how many hours I worked. But if he requests that I tell him on Saturday, but then he goes Saturday and then Sunday and then Monday and sometimes Tuesday without paying me, why do you have me submit my hours? You know, there's no official payroll. It's literally a Venmo. So I don't know. Stuff like that, it just bothers me because don't ask me to do something if you're not going to do it on your, I don't know. It's fine. But so yeah. And now it is 11:20 p.m., January 5th, 2026. And yeah, that's the show. I'm gonna end the show. Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully I'll get all these uploaded soon. I'll not have a day under one listen or one download. But again, it doesn't matter. I honestly, real quick, I have been exploring the idea of what if I just pasted the transcript into Podbean, and what if I was to just somehow get these files, and then can I, let's see, I'm just looking at these files. When I pull them from voice memos, they save as M4A files, which doesn't work for Spotify. It needs to be an MP3. Part of me wants to just abolish all the description stuff, and I can just, I don't know. I don't want to have to worry about this stuff. I just want to record and upload, And I've been doing this for 800 episodes now. I guess no problem, but I think it's just gotten to that point maybe where we need to make that change and just, I don't know. I mean, it's cool to see the description of the pay and to document that stuff. And I think, you know what, I don't know. For that reason, I want to keep on doing it just to show the documentation and the progress as I go. I think that might be the coolest part, actually. So, I don't know. Just being lazy, I think. Never had a problem with 800 days in a row. Now all of a sudden there's a problem. Nothing changed. Not a goddamn thing changed. Why all of a sudden am I having, So just some introspection needs to be done, and I got to quit being lazy with it. So that being said, that is the show. So look at that. We just talked myself up and down off a cliff. There you go. In the flesh, live. There you go. Okay. That's the show. Thank you for listening. Peace.